So they'll be calling you a radical. Important video here because the Kenine run ended yesterday. The early Chinook Kenine run. And this is important, the health of our ocean, the health of our ecology, which is a catastrophe. Everybody's all caught up in social issues, up, down. And first off, the attack, everybody's Second Amendment, Second Amendment. What about the First? I've never seen the First Amendment attacked like it's being attacked. It's being attacked all over. The internet, Trump bit the hand that fed him. Trump bit the hand that got him elected. He killed net neutrality. So the salmon numbers, and this is historic and important. And then we'll talk a little bit about the Utah election, which is nuts. So the salmon number on the Kenine, 2,396 fish for the entire run. You heard me right. On the Kenine. All these other Alaskan rivers are just as bad, if not worse. The Copper River right now, the Copper River is less than 400,000. Now that runs over this month, but we're 75% of the way. We're talking, this is acute collapse post-Fukushima. Now you can go denial about Fukushima. The coronavirus has gone psycho. We're in denial about that. See no nuclear evil, hear no nuclear. Look, all this stuff has happened post-Fukushima. It changed the game. It changed everything. 311, there's no start. What did you sleep last night? This is a nightmare. All this happened. Everybody's in epic denial. Obey, consume, obey, consume. This ecology's collapsed in an acute fashion. Now in science, scientists are mystified, they're baffled, they're puzzled, they're stumped, they're alarmed, they're perplexed, they're bewildered. That doesn't count it. Now, where's Laguskov? Oh, he hung himself 2 years after Chernobyl. There are no Laguskovs in the nuclear industry in the United States Department. And by the way, I cannot overstate this. The United States runs the nuclear industry in Japan. Yes, hello, Yalta by the Sea. The United States, post-war, we took Japan, they took Eastern Europe, Stalin, freaking FDR, Churchill. We run, that whole nuclear industry is run by the U.S. The first guy in there was from Idaho National Lab. He won't talk now. Coronavirus, COVID-19, my hypothesis is, which I predicted all this from the beginning, is going to mutate into humans. It's going to keep, how many times I say it? You just go in denial, you're going out, what's Logoskov's great? No, that's Boris's great line. What did he say about Riza's great line from the Battle of Chernobyl in 2008? What came out of that reactor, the worst thing was not cesium, was not iodine 131, was not, and by the way, I need to talk a little more about uranium. People like Kathleen Higley are people saying, oh, uranium's natural from the... No, that's not what a nuclear reactor uses. Nuclear reactor does not use uranium-238. It uses 235. That's not natural. That's freaking centrifuge, freaking man-made nightmare. That's a nightmare. That's what they use. Iodine 131 on Balco, on chemo, cesium 137, tritium, we can go on and on, strontium, What came out of that reactor, the worst thing was not cesium, was not iodine, was not even plutonium. It was lies. What did Boris say at the end? I lied in Vienna. Kevin Blanche didn't lie in Vienna. He held their feet to the fire. The lies. Fukushima lies. The Fukushima lies. All the nuclear industry lies are nothing more than a debt to the truth. That debt's accruing. That debt's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That lie bubble is growing. The lies accumulate, just like nuclear fallout, till there comes a day when that debt comes due. That debt has come due now. And everybody's going to hold court. Tide pools collapse acutely. Salmon collapse acutely. All acute. Fires, drought, all this is acute, happened in downwind from Fukushima. The nightmare that's going on in Russia, continuing nightmare, this SMR. So we'll tie this in. SMR, nuclear little scale. Now, Sean Reyes is in a really close race for the Attorney General. He's the Oakland invader. He's a Cal Berkeley guy from there. He didn't grow up here. He's related to that madman in the Philippines. He's slightly up, but these are mail-in ballots. Now, Huntsman's down by 11,000 votes to Cox. Well, come on. Salt Lake County hasn't even mailed their votes in. They do 24-hour quarantine. Now, masks are being mandatory now in Moab, they've requested. Go to the cancer capital of the world, Moab, as I call it, life excavated. Now, will Huntsman make a comeback and win? I think so. I don't know, though. Now, in this 1st congressional district, now this is the fraud of KSL, the terrorist organization. KSL last night is still calling the Congressional 1 district. They still got carried on here, the mega welfare queen. They're still putting him on. He's wiped out on this. He's got beat. By who? Blake Moore. They called him Tim Moore last night. They're still calling him Tim Moore. Won't mention his name. Now, this is important. Burgess, the SNFL player, won District 4 to run up against Ben McAdams. Ben McAdams will win that race, I think. So, but anyway, it's important because we need some anti-nukers back in this place in Utah because the nuclear waste is coming to the nuclear outhouse called Utah. And no one seems that's not a political issue. No one even talks about it. Why is Utah the nuclear outhouse? Because Dirty Herbie and Cox. Now, this is important because Cox, ignorant, selfish leaders, ignorant, selfish people will elect ignorant, selfish leaders. Now, I asked Cox. I know Cox personally. I've talked to him multiple times. I asked him at the Bear River Massacre. He gave a speech at the Bear River Massacre. Now, think about this. The reason we showed up this year is because this was formerly Utah territory. I walked up and I said, well, I don't want to put this up because you're running for governor. You know, I have a video of you saying that. Why are you airing your ignorance in public? This was never Utah territory. This was Washington territory. Well, that's not what we were told. By who? Who told you that? I thought you were running for governor. Leader, of course, Huntsman. I mean, he didn't even know nuclear waste here, so we got nothing but ignorant candidates. I mean, it's pathetic. Well, Blake Moore, who didn't even declare candidacy till February, come out of nowhere, you know, the Ogden High boy, who doesn't even live in this district. Him and Bob Stevenson are in a dead heat for this Congressional 1. Rob Bishop gone, thank goodness. In Gun McKay, this old blue district, which went from the bluest district in America to the reddest district in America in my lifetime. And so, that's Fact Jack. Ogden, Utah, in Art Deco. This, by the way, where I live out in rural county is considered Ogden, Utah. So, I told Blake, I know his dad. I had a conversation, there's pictures all over out there with he and I together. I like him a lot. I'm like, Blake, you declare your candidacy right now, you know, come on, we know you're CIA. You said that, not me, Kevin. He is CIA. That's who we work for. We need somebody inside the CIA to break ranks. We need somebody in the CIA to come along and say, hey, Fukushima kills us too. I have kids. I have a family. You know, we need people inside the NSA, the CIA, the repository here, you know, that were brought here by these so-called Republicans that said they were free speech people. They were up is down, black is white, wrong is right. They had you in Hairspray. They brought in the freaking repository. They killed the First Amendment. I says, if you win out of nowhere, you didn't declare till February, it proves to me all elections are fixed. He's ahead by 1% right now, but lots of votes. He's going to win. Now, Huntsman, down by 11,000 votes to Cox. Spencer, well, Salt Lake votes aren't even in. We won't even know this till the first of the week, but my hunch, Huntsman will come back and win it, but who knows? So, but anyway, we need some anti-nukers in this state. And why? We don't make nuclear energy because of NUSCA. NUSCA. Now, by the way, his name's Reyes. Jose Reyes, the CEO of NUSCA. I asked our AG to his face at the Barrier. It's online. Are you related to him? The Reyes connection. He's quoted you. And he says, I'm not related to that guy. I says, okay. Well, we know he's related to that madman in the Philippines. He's an Oakland invader. Didn't grow up here. Has nothing to do with it. Oh, yeah. The same old connection. Cal Berkeley, the nuclear head of the snake. I said, what about these new skeleton reactors that Utah's funding? Now, this is international headlines all over the world. Utah's funding these little people are freaking out. New scale from hell. They're the ones that propped it up. I can tell you, I don't even know what that is. Okay, now think about it. This is probably the greatest crime ever, and that's saying a lot in Utah. What the looting that went on by New Scale to get the state of Utah to fund these things, and the trucks coming here today, this should be the number1 issue in Utah. The last decent governor we had in this state, really, well, probably Scott Madsen. He died of leukemia, didn't he? They don't care. Mike Lee's dad died young. I mean, all these people. John Huntsman's dad. I mean, it's all me selfishness. Obey, consume what we get. Growth for the sake of growth. The ideology of cancer cells. Edward Abbey in Moab. Who now Moab, even the residents down there, says, we want mandatory mask. You know, come to Moab and, you know, give us all freaking coronavirus and kill us. COVID-19. COVID-19 is a byproduct of this. This salmon collapse is epic. So, stay tuned. But you have one last bastion of hope with as far as the nuclear thesis here in the United States of usury. In Utah, you have me. That's all you have. The rest of these panty painters ain't going to do nothing. Hill of Utah got hijacked. You know, the panty painters. And they've killed the First Amendment. The First Amendment's over. Lock, stock, barrel. You know, we had YouTube, the beautiful genre. Had is the key word. What happened? Trumpism happened. Trump bit the hand that fed him. That's what he's done his whole life. Who put him in the White House? The internet, YouTube. So he killed net neutrality. This salmon collapse is epic. The Copper River's so low, all of it. This is all. Now remember, this is acute. They had record returns before Fukushima. They had record escapement in the ocean every year. Record returns on all these rivers. Record returns. They've collapsed 90%. The tide pools are down 99%. This, you know, there's whales. The orcas starving to death in Puget Sound. All acutely. The dead whales washing up, you know. There's all kinds of whales that shouldn't even be in San Diego washing up. San Diego Pete. You know, reported to me there's one of the small, rare whales that has no business being in San Diego dying. You know, the ocean's out of whack. Anchovies and sardines, all acutely. I mean, historic, radical, acute. In science, mystified, baffled, stumped, curious, perplexed, does not get it. What gets it? Kevin Blanch's work. First, you hypothesize, look, they're lying about these meltdowns. You know, this debt that occurred from the Chernobyl lies. By the way, the HBO documentary is basically a plagiaristic, redone masterpiece of the 2006 masterpiece, The Battle for Chernobyl. That's exactly, he watched it. You know, these guys, I watched Chernobyl before it was going to happen. They asked me to watch it, which, by the way, is a masterpiece. It changed the game. Where's the Fukushima Kevin Blanch documentary? Where, I mean, people come to me, oh, I'm going to do a documentary on you, Kevin Blanch. I mean, what a compelling story. It's going to give you, I get leukemia. By the way, the Radio Roundup settlement was supposedly done yesterday. Okay, if it was done yesterday, you know, again, the BP settlement, the 9/11 settlement, the same guy. What? What a sham. Why would Bear buy Monsanto? You know? So we just poison the ecology. What I've done, first you hypothesize knowledge. They're going to lie, they're going to lie, they're going to push this to the ocean, it's going to collapse the Pacific Ocean, it's going to cause a drought over the western United States. The Great Salt Lake was at historic levels in 20. But nobody even talks about that, the epic drought here. The coronavirus is just growth, sake of growth, the ideology of cancer cells, Balco. And they all die of leukemia. That's what we do here. No one gives a shit. They traded in their health for somebody they never met. Jeff Bezos, Operation Paperclips, freaking offspring, Los Alamos's grandbabies. Well, what'd you sleep last night? So, oh Blake, you know, I told him he's come out of the grass. Well, I don't know. So, hopefully we can get some anti-nukers and bust this club up. And this is all corruption in this state. Historic corruption. Where's the feds? Where's the FBI? They steal federal monies on this West 12th Street economic development by the millions and millions. You know, that's a federal grant. You read the FBI's charter. What does it say? To police corrupt governments. Do they do it? I'm going to be talking to Blake if he gets wind. You know, I think he's got a lot of historical, powerful connections. I've known him since he was a child. I used to coach against him. Great athlete. Incredible athlete. He's smart as hell, you know, and so I think we're starting to get some smarter politicians in here. You know, we'll see, hopefully, that some of them start standing up for our children's health. You know, and standing up. I got news for you. It's your pseudo-facto sociology. It's your pseudo-facto theology. Your American manufactured Jesus. It's the biology. Oh, yeah. It's the ecology, stupid. You know, the number one issue should be our children's health. Should be, you know, the health of the ecology. We poison the planet, you know, and so, but we just ignore all that. Go ahead, at your own peril, you know, at your own peril. So the salmon numbers have collapsed. Stay tuned.